So when we're designing our products at Sonos, after the first prototype is built or a batch of units might be built in Asia, we run them through a very rigorous test cycle. Sonos has a quote Sonos test plan, requires I think upwards of 80 to 100 units per test cycle. That test cycle is predetermined and written out by the Sonos team. So in other words, we know what tests we have to go through. It's thermal, whether it's a boot test, a drop test, some type of humidity test. So we run the units through this cycle, and our standard answer is if it does not pass these tests, we don't move forward. So in the case of if we ran a 100,000 boot cycle and we needed 1 million boots, or 100,002 and we got 100,000, we would not move forward. Now, in some cases, if we're getting close and we need to debate whether the spec is accurate, we might have that conversation. But in general, we test our products to the test plan that we've agreed upon as a larger Sonos company. And that test plan has been carefully designed such that our products last 10 years in the field. So we really don't want to compromise any test, whether it's drop or humidity or vibration or boot, because we need to know that 5 years from now, when there's a new streaming service or a new type of control device, like an iPad, our products have to be able to interact with that. And we want to make sure that our customers are very, very happy. So Sonos products are very interesting from the standpoint that we design our products for a 10-year lifespan. It might sound kind of crazy in the world of buying a new phone every year and TVs changing over every year or two. But we have really set up Sonos and set up the design of our products to last 10 years. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to keep the product for 10 years because we're continuing to launch new products. But a product like our original ZP100, which is an amplifier type product that we released in 2005, that product was released when Pandora didn't exist, iPhone didn't exist, iPad didn't exist, and Spotify was on no one's radar. Today, that product is in my house with a pair of speakers, controlled by my iPad, connecting to Spotify in the cloud, and has all the features of a product that you would buy at Best Buy today. So the really cool thing about Sonos is that we're able to, through software, continually upgrade the hardware to have the feature set that products today on the market have. And this is very unique to the audio industry, somewhat unique to the consumer electronics industry, very similar to like an iPhone. An iPhone, through software, continues to get better over time through app development, new features, new releases by Apple. When we're developing hardware at Sonos, we actually have to spend a lot of time thinking not only about what we're going to release for that immediate launch, but we're also looking 10 years down the line. So, and this ties into that whole software aspect. So, we'll do things like put twice the amount of memory we need on board of a Sonos product to ensure that features that might come available in 2, 3, 4 years from now, we can do. So we'll invest heavily now in the hardware. And the advantage is that we actually ride that Moore's Law curve. So we might spend more money on memory, on RAM, on processing power, things that might put us slightly out of our budget for the short term. But as those prices decline in the market, our sourcing and manufacturing teams are able to recognize that cost back in, and the price of a Sonos product is actually much cheaper a year or two later because of Moore's Law. And the bet that we're making is that as we pour more money into processing power and RAM, that we'll be able to have more features and more capability for our customers years to come.